Hello everybody, welcome to the Mystical Mojos. This is Sara, I am Jonathan, and today we're listening to a Pink Floyd tune called On the Turning Away.
I do love Pink Floyd. I'm excited about this one.
Pink Floyd are an iconic progressive rock band from England, and this particular live version comes to us from the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour, which was recorded in 1988.
Well, let's just get listening. I'm excited about this one.
Richard Wright on the keys.
On the turning away from the pale and downtrodden, and the words they say which we won't understand. Don't accept that what's happening it's just a case of other suffering. Oh, you'll find that you're joining in the turning away.
Okay.
I love that you can hardly see anyone and you've just got this voice coming out of the... It's such a nice voice. It's just so full.
It's kind of comforting in a way, isn't it? David Gilmour, what an amazing musician. We'll get to his guitar playing, but as a vocalist, because, you know, Pink Floyd, Roger Waters was the vocalist, David Gilmour was a vocalist, but by this point, Roger Waters wasn't playing with the band.
Okay.
In the mid-80s here. So David Gilmour's fronting the band, and his voice is incredible. Really interesting start. I mean, Pink Floyd, iconic British band, have had so much impact on musicians, the general public, everyone for decades. And they come again with the intro, very atmospheric, very sort of psychedelic. But interestingly enough, here you've got a melody line over a pedal on the keys, a sustained bass note. So the note isn't changing, but the melody over the top is. And at times some of the chords are changing. Beautiful intro.
Beautiful.
It's a sin that somehow light is changing to shadow and casting its shroud over all we have known. Unaware how the ranks have grown, driven on by a heart of stone. We could find that we're all alone in the dream of the proud. On the wings of the night, as the daytime is stirring,
many people are in this band? That's a full stage.
Yeah, it's full stage. There's a bunch of people on stage. They always played with session musicians. There's a bunch of people on stage who are not technically in the band. At this point, my understanding was that Pink Floyd really was David Gilmour, lead vocals and guitar,
Yeah.
Nick Mason on the drums,
Yes.
and Richard Wright on the keys. And everyone else toured with them. You had backup singers, you had another keyboard player, you had at times a percussionist. I know for their Pulse tour they had a percussionist as well. You had a bass player, but they weren't in the band.
Right.
Yeah. But from the early days, they also had Syd Barrett, who was a singer, songwriter, guitarist really early on. So they've had a few different lineup changes. Well, David Gilmour, Nick Mason, Richard Wright have sort of remained in it.
Yeah. That's quite a drum setup too, isn't it? You can
Yeah.
hardly see the drummer.
I really love Nick's playing.
Yeah.
He has that ability to play exactly what the song needs. It serves the song. It's creative.
It's not in your face.
It's very calming.
Yes. Well, the whole song is calming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet it's epic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix.
No more turning away from the weak and the weary. No more turning away from the coldness inside. Just a world that we all must share. It's not enough just to stand and stare. Is it only a dream that there'll be no more time?
stop it.
No, there's no place for it to stop it. I mean, David Gilmour.
But I just love that solo is so chill. A lot of guitarists, like in solos, they go crazy. But he is going a little bit, but it's still chill for some reason. It's just got a beautiful sound.
It's all to do with his tone.
I also love the audience. That's sitting in chairs.
Yeah.
Like, that just wouldn't happen nowadays. It's just like, oh, we'll just sit here. Nah. If you're at a Pink Floyd concert, you are there. I'm not getting into it.
Percussionist. What a banger. It's not really a banger.
not a
I just
banger.
wanted to say banger. So I'll get your thoughts in a second.
Yeah, go for it. You just go.
So, some initial thoughts. Firstly, another Pink Floyd masterpiece. They sound like no one else. The songwriting is amazingly creative. They set up atmospheric intro with Richard Wright on the keys. And then you brought in this, well, amazing guitar, but David Gilmour's vocals, which are just soaring over the top. And the song, as with a lot of Pink Floyd songs, just builds.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not a normal song structure, is it?
No.
Not at all. And they used so many vocals in this particular song.
Ooh,
I
don't
know
they?
I love their vocals on other songs as well, but I didn't realize how many vocals were in this song until you see it.
Yes.
I've never seen them performing it.
Yeah.
I just have heard it before. And I've got 3 backing vocalist females, and then they've also got band members who are singing.
So you've at least got, so the 3 backup, we've got David Gilmour, Richard Wright, the bass player. There's at least 6 people singing.
Which is almost, it gets that choir sound.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
exactly
Yeah.
right. And that ethereal kind of heavenly sound. And through most of that, there were vocals. There weren't vocals at the start when Richard was playing his keys intro, but through most of that, there was some kind of vocals, whether even through David Gilmour's guitar solo, you could hear the backup singers.
Yes.
And boy, were they good.
Oh, it's incredible. And then his voice on top of that is this powerful yet soft, gentle, comforting
Yes.
sound.
And,
yes.
and yet, for some reason, for me anyway, I don't know about you, you can comment on this, but has a degree of melancholy and sadness to it.
Definitely, definitely.
And-
there is a lot of emotions going on with this song. I don't even know what it's about. I haven't even focused on the lyrics. Yeah.
And yet, I mean, for me, it's struggled to listen to this, to not get emotional. I did get a bit emotional because it is so full of weight and heaviness, and yet it's beautiful at the same time, which I think Pink Floyd does exceptionally well. They have this ability to write and perform music that is beautiful and magnificent and lifts you up, but at the same time, in the same song, is kind of nostalgic, melancholy, sad, heavy. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. It's very hard to articulate, though.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Let's have a word about David Gilmour's guitar playing, because I've loved David Gilmour's guitar playing for as long as I can remember, and I know you have too. And he has this ability, we've mentioned it before with different guitarists, to play one or two notes and for it to transport the listener. His tone is second to none. It's like silk.
Yes. And you hear it and you know exactly who's playing. People can copy it, but it's not there.
It's not David Gilmour.
And then when you watch him actually playing as well, I didn't realize how calm he was and how he's not a showman, but he's just playing. It's not flashy, and yet it's incredibly flashy.
He does an awful lot with not that much from a note point of view. He's not necessarily playing a lot of notes, but what he is playing is so impactful.
And it's soaring, and it's taking you on a journey, and you're not sure where it's going, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
And this particular song, again, like a lot of other Pink Floyd songs, has that heavy emotion to it. Nick Mason, really enjoy his drumming, always do. His drum parts are creative. I love his feel. It's always serving the song. It's always what needs to be played.
And he's completely hidden with his setup. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And are there any other percussion to support him, or is he doing the whole thing?
There is a percussionist as well. There was a couple of shots of the percussionist.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's adding some texture as well.
Yeah, and like I said before during the song about the actual audience, you've got a few people standing up at the end.
Yeah.
But it's a very kind of conservative, but they're so not conservative. But it's kind of it's just the era, I suppose, and the people who were attracted to their music at the time.
Yeah, I think it is that.
And I just can't, I can believe, because their songs are timeless.
Yes.
They are absolute timeless. You would not know what era they're playing in.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the sound is incredible. This was in the 80s.
And is there any band, you know how you listen to a particular artist and you go, oh, they've been heavily influenced by, say, for example, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Or who's heavily influenced by Pink Floyd other than the whole of the music industry?
Yeah.
Like, is there a particular band that's followed after them?
I don't think anyone sounds like Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
There are definitely bands who've been heavily influenced, but they don't sound like Pink Floyd. I mean, even a Dream Theater have been quite heavily influenced by Pink Floyd. And bands like Rush, Genesis, and these kind of more progressive bands. But Dream Theater don't sound like them.
No.
They have their own very unique style. So you don't necessarily have to sound like someone to draw on their influence.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I would say on this song, it's really interesting sort of form-wise and feel-wise, because it almost has a Celtic feel to it.
Okay.
In terms of the vocals, and the structure is quite interesting, and the timing of it, because it's in 4, but there is a bar of 3 every now and again, and the phrasing of the vocals makes it feel like it's not really in 4.
Right.
But what Nick Mason is playing is in 4. So it's very interesting structurally, which again is not that uncommon for more Celtic folk music.
I didn't pick that up.
Yeah.
At all. I did pick up it sped up at some stage.
It goes to double time feel.
Oh, I loved watching that one and listening to it and exploring it a bit more.
So that was our thoughts on Pink Floyd's On the Turning Away. We hope you enjoyed that. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.